So how do you calculate the surface area of a figure using a net? Well, um, what we see here is they gave us a triangular prism. And essentially, when you calculate the surface area of a figure using a net, all you're doing is breaking the shape open and seeing what the component parts are, finding the area of those pieces, and then adding them together. So it's not a difficult process. It might take a little while, but it's not impossible to do. So let's check out this triangular prism here. They ask you to find the surface area of the triangular prism using its net. All right, well, what I see is I do have a triangular prism here, no problem. And so when you break it open, it's going to look like this. You're going to see three rectangles and a triangle to represent the bases. So there are two triangles, one on the top and one on the bottom, will be here and here. So all you really have to do is focus your attention on this net to find the surface area of this prism. So when we're doing that, we have to use our basically puzzle solving skills, our context clues, to figure out the missing side. So I know to find the area of this shape, it's supposed to be the base times the height. But I know that this base is 5, but I don't know what this height is. But if I look over here, I see that this is a 7. So if this is 7 and this is a rectangle, that means that this piece right here must be 7 as well. So that means now I know that this is 5 times 7, and so that's just 35. I do the same thing for this rectangle here. I know that this is 6 and this is 7, so 6 times 7 is just 42. And then I look at this rectangle right here. I know this is 5 and this is 7, so 5 times 7 is 35. From there, I need to find the area of these two triangles. And I should know that they're going to be the same, but even if I didn't, there's enough information here for me to figure this out. So I have this 4, and this is going to be my height because it's from a vertex and it goes perpendicular. So my height is 4, and I need a base, which would be from here to right here, which if I recognize that this is a part of a rectangle, if this side over here is 6, that must mean that this side right here is also 6. So I'm going to draw an arrow here and show that this is a 6. Well, now if I know that my base is 6 and my height is 4 for a triangle, you just multiply the base by the height to be 24, and then you divide it by 2, and that gives you 12, half of the base by the height. So if I know that this entire shape is 12 cubic units, I also know that since these have the same dimensions, that this is also 12 cubic units. So if I have 12, 12, 35, 42, and 35, to answer this, all I have to do is add those up. So I have 42, 35, 35, 12, and 12. So I have, so there's 10 plus another 6 is 16. Carry the 1. There's 5, 8, 11, 12, 13. So 136. So my answer should be 136. So as you can see, it's not really that complex to do. It's just a matter of using your context clues to figure out what the dimensions of the individual pieces are. And then once you find those dimensions, you find the area, and then you add up the areas. So let's try another one. They want us to find the surface area of a rectangular prism using its net below. So we have a rectangular prism, but they already break it open for you. So all you have to do is use your context clues. So how would that work out? Well, if I have, let's see, I can start right here. I know that this piece right here is 2 times 5. So this segment in here will be 2 times 5, and that's 10. I know that if I have a 3 here, and this is 5 right here. It means this other side must be 5. I'll write that down. So then that's just 5 times 3, which is 15. Which again, that's 5 times 2. And then if I know that this is a 2 and this is a 3, that's 3 times 2 to give you 6. And then I also know that since it's a rectangular prism, if this is a 6, the opposite side, in order for it to be a box, would have to be the same size. So this is a 6 without me having to do any calculations. And I can also say that these two will be opposite each other, and that's going to be, so if this is 15, then this would also be 15. But I can also figure this out because I can see that there are 1, 2, 3 units or unit squares right here. So this is 3 again, so this is 5 times 3 to give me 15 again. And then finally, again, like I said, if this is one part of the box, then I must have another part of the box that's the same size. So I know this is a 10, but again, I can see 2 unit squares here. That's 2, and this is 5, so 5 times 2, once again, will give me 10. So now I know that there are 2 15s, and that's 30, 2 10s, that's 20, 2 6s, that's 12. So if I add those up, I have 2 plus 6 would be 62. 3, 5 plus 1 is 6, and then 62. So my total surface area would be 62 cubic units. That means that this whole thing all the way around is 62 units squared. So here we have a cube. And again, as always, they've laid it out. And they're pretty helpful in giving you the grid. So if I know that this is 4, I know that this is 4. I know that all of them will be 4 by 4. So 4 times 4 will be 16. And since it's a cube, I know all the sides of 16. But again, if you didn't know that, again, here's 4 by 4. Here's 4 by 4. No matter where you look, it's going to be 4 by 4. So these are all 16s. So if these are all 16s, then I just really need to do 16 times 6, or if I need to add 16, or if I need to have 6 16s, then that's fine. But really, it should be 16 times 6 when you're dealing with a cube, and that's going to be 36. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9, so 96. And so that's it. It's really just that simple. So here is another opportunity with your with a triangular prism. And so we've done this already, and I'm going to start passing this on to you now to say, all right, well, if you know that I have, see, I can find this rectangle here. Well, this rectangle here, I know both the dimensions. So that's 7 by 5. So that's going to be 35. I look here, I know these dimensions. That's 7 by 4. So 7 times 4, and that's 28. And then for this one, I don't know both of these dimensions yet, but I do know that this side is a part of this rectangle. So if this is 7, then I know this is 7. And so then that means that I now have the dimensions for that. And I'm not gonna do any more of the math. I'm just gonna help you to figure out the dimensions so that you can then do the math for yourself. So I know that this is 4. That means that this side right here is also a 4. Not to mention, you could have counted the grids 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the same thing here, I can count 1, 2, 3. So this is a 3. And then this is 1, 2, 3. So this is a 3. So now I have the base and height for my triangles. I have everything that I need at this point to find the total surface area. So if you go ahead and use the 3 and the 4 to find the area for this triangle will be the same. and then use the base and the height here, the 7 and the 3, to find the area of this rectangle. We've already done these two, so you should be able to figure out what the surface area of this rectangular prism is now. So go ahead and do that. So let's set up another one. They asked us to find the surface area of this square pyramid. But again, they help out a lot because they actually give us the net of the square pyramid. So what are my context clues? I have 3, and this is also 3, so 3 by 3. I know that this is 3 here. This is a 4. I know that, and I can see from the bottom here to the top here is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares from the base to the top. So I know that that missing distance right here is also 4, which I see the same thing here is 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know this distance is also 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this total distance is 4 again. So that's the 4. I also know that this is 1, 2, 3. So that means then if I was to multiply 3 by 3, I would find the area of this square. If I multiplied 3 by 4 and then divided it by 2, that would give me the area of this triangle. All these other triangles are the same. So I will just take the area of the triangle and either multiply it by 4 or just add them up, and then add the area of the square, and that would tell me the surface area of the figure.